got this.
Alright, today is June 22nd of 2019, and this morning I did an interview on my older brother Anthony. He served in the military for 4 years and 10 months, and he just got back from his 3rd deployment in Afghanistan. Today, I'm going to be talking about all of his deployments and his PTSD to get a little bit of insight into what he's going through. His first deployment, he said, was a little bit nerve-wracking. Of course, going to a third world country would be understandable to not know what you were doing and to not know what's expected of you. And he said that he wasn't really a prepared mechanic, so he was pretty nervous about it because the expectations were pretty high considering he was gone and he just started. So he did 6 months, and after the 6 months when he came back, he said the best thing that happened there was a farmer's breakfast, which was just mashed potatoes, eggs, bacon, and ham, pushed up together into a little bit of ball of mush, and he said that it was the best thing out there considering everything smelled like armpit.
Yeah.
And then when he came back, he said the first thing that he appreciated the most was definitely the air quality. His second deployment was a bit better. He was far more prepared. He didn't have a sergeant over him. He was doing his job by himself. The expectations weren't as high as they were out here. They played a lot of games, which really helped. He took Uno cards, and he said that's what got him through it, through every single day. And then he also got his first taste of combat. He said that whenever he was working on his machines, he'd just be getting shot at, and he'd have to run for cover and try to find out where the shooting was coming from, where the officers were, where the rest of the sergeants were, and what he needed to do next to make sure nobody got hurt. I bet it was a very stressful situation and something that I definitely couldn't endure, so I just give him the most respect for doing that. And he said that the most tedious thing about that was he was just trying to do his job, so it was pretty aggravating. At least let him finish. And then his third deployment was a lot easier on him, he said. He said that he didn't have any sergeant over him, but he did have privates under him. So he said that he didn't really need to, do anything because the privates knew what they were expected of, and they got a little bit more training than he did. So it was pretty easy for them to get the gist of it, and he had a pretty easy time. He was definitely striving for sergeant during that time, so that was kind of his driving point. When he came back, the first thing he did was come home to his wife and baby, which was pretty great. And also, he has suffered some slight PTSD from the combat. He said that every now and then he kind of gets scared from loud noises. For those of you who do not know what PTSD is, it's post-traumatic stress disorder, and it happens when large sounds and large experiences affect your life, and it can really take a toll on people. So every now and then, whenever he gets I think it's called a backlash from a car, when it makes the loud bang, he said it kind of goes a little bit on edge. As well as a couple months ago, when he was sleeping, his wife was changing the baby, and she dropped the diaper bag off of the table, and he kind of woke up in a panic. So he's gonna go see a therapist about it, and I hope everything goes okay. But I'm just glad that he came back and everything's okay, and I'm sure he thanks God for his life every day. Thank you guys so much for listening.